I love a game with a good gravity switching mechanic. Stuff like Metal Storm and VVVVV are just so cool, and when done right, really lead to some unique gameplay opportunities. Today we are looking at Gravity Heroes, a game that is currently sitting at 11 user reviews on Steam. You take control of one of four heroes, trying to stop the synth invasion, which are kind of like cyborg creatures, and they've all gone crazy. There are 5 worlds with 3 levels each. The first 2 take place in an arena where enemies spawn in and you have to shoot all of them. You have the standard jump, wall jump, and shoot that you might expect, and you get a random bot that flies in the arena to drop various items and upgrades to help you defeat the swarms of enemies. But you are not just confined to the floor. By flicking the right stick in any direction, you change gravity in that way. So by flicking the right stick up, your character floats up to the ceiling and then gravity is reversed. You could do this in all 4 directions, to walk on the ceiling or either of the walls, and you could also switch directions mid-switch. This is both really fun and really useful. Let's say you're floating up to the ceiling and all of a sudden some enemies spawn or there are some bullets in your way. You can change direction mid-switch to get to a safer area. It's just such a fun mechanic. It is really easy to use, controls very responsively, and is just really intuitive. As enemy mobs increase in size and firepower, they are also crawling all over the walls and ceilings and everything in between. You can only shoot straight ahead, so you're going to have to switch gravity constantly to address all of these threats, as well as to avoid their fire. The enemy is not your only threat though. Every level is riddled with obstacles to keep the shooting even more dynamic. So you might have a lava pit that spawns, and you have to be really careful to avoid it or you'll get sustained burn damage. Or maybe a giant laser wall that totally slows you down, making it more difficult to avoid the threats near you. The game does a really good job of keeping these single screen arenas interesting with a nice variety of varied challenges. I mentioned before there was a little bot that spawns in to drop power-ups, and there are a ton of different ones here. You get a nice variety of different guns, all of them are fun to use and very useful. You also get an inventory of up to 3 items, and these range from health power-ups to cool abilities like increasing your move and firing speed, as well as extra tools like grenades and turrets that you could place to attack enemies. As fun as these levels are, the boss battles are what steal the show in this game. Each of the 5 worlds ends in a boss fight. When you first get to the arena, there's typically some kind of puzzle you have to solve before the boss comes out. These were not skippable, and while they were done pretty well, they did seem kind of out of place in a game that's just dedicated to shooting. Once you solve the puzzle, the boss comes out and it is on. These are huge monsters with enormous life bars and a ton of different attacks. As you progress through the battle, it seems they are constantly throwing new things at you, and the old attacks ratchet up in intensity. They were all long battles of attrition, and every single one of them was super fun. They make tremendous use of the gravity switching mechanic also. Most of their attacks are not going to be able to be dodged by just standard running and jumping, and it's really fun switching gravity to fly all around the room to quickly get out of the way of their attacks while getting in some pot shots as you're floating past them. This boss here was absolutely nuts. I think it took me about 30 minutes to beat him, and I just got by on my last sliver of health. It was intense, and every boss battle provided an equal level of awesome gameplay, made even more awesome by the gravity switching mechanic. I think I would have been okay if the whole game was just these boss battles and they added like 2 or 3 more. Overall, this is a really fun game that virtually nobody has played. It also offers up to 4-player co-op if you're not like me and you have friends. Give this game a shot. It sells for $10 on Steam. It took me a little over 3 hours to beat, and you get it on sale for considerably cheaper. I think I bought it on the last summer sale for about $2.50, and for that price, it is an absolute steal. Its unique gravity mechanic really sets it apart from other games in the genre, and the amazing boss battles make it worth the price of admission.